a reason to go kill me because I'm hauling something you want to sell.
I troll at that door before they could get the ship. I just shoot everyone that comes to the ship. It's so funny.
Hello and welcome to the Astropub, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paul Bazooka01 Batman Shelley, and this is the Captain's Table. Here at the Captain's Table, we do nothing but discuss things. Disgusting things. Our official tag is, of course, the Captain's Table. We don't know shit, but please confirm everything we say in all the official channels.
I know social eating.
Yes, now it's a social eating channel.
I have my food in the other room. I'm just going to let it sit there until afterwards. We're trying not to eat on stream.
All right.
I'm sorry I'm being rude, but I haven't eaten since last night at 11 o'clock.
It's okay. I understand.
Jesus, yeah, that's appropriate.
So we'll start with one of the two eating guys. Grakis, who are you? Where can they find you? What's been going on with you this week?
I am Grakis. You can find me at twitch.tv/Grakis, Grakees, or just search the web because Twitter, YouTube, everything's branded under that name. You can also find me voice acting in the Machinima Bulkheads. Episode 3 did not have my main character Brock, but I still did voice in that as well as a lot of background wall voices. And you can also find me every Saturday before the show DMing Bad Rolls, a D&D live show custom world that I created that includes, well, Paul as a butt-grabbing halfling.
Yes, indeed. Anything big coming up for you, or
TwitchCon? That's the biggest thing that's going to be coming up. TwitchCon, CitizenCon, as well as more and more bad rolls. So much bad rolls. So many things that have to happen with bad rolls. I can't wait.
Are you also you're also doing Late Night Vacuum, right?
Yes, of course. Every Friday. Well, almost every Friday, depending on schedules. Occasionally not Fridays. But for the most part, every Friday, you can also look for Late Night Vacuum on Podbean or iTunes as a podcast that you can go download for free. It is myself and Dublar Thackeray covering Star Citizen and just sort of doing a meandering wander of conversation through whatever the hell topics we feel like for the week.
Excellent. Now, moving on to Clifford. Who are you, and where can people find you? I'm doing this at the beginning, that way we can get it out, so we're not rushing in at the end when everyone's like, we gotta go. So that's where I'm trying to introduce everybody, so who may not know your wonderful faces.
I'm just the old Baron from Texas, that's all.
The old Baron from Texas.
No, this week I've been mainly just doing some Kerbal. I don't know why, I've been getting really heavily back into Kerbal again. I don't know, I just felt like building stuff, and all the stuff that had happened with SpaceX recently had got me wanting to get back into it. So other than that, just been playing 2.5 of Star Citizen. Now that it's out the PTU, and it actually runs even better than when it was on PTU, which is surprisingly optimistic, actually. And then other than that, you can just find me on Twitter, Clifford_AK_Miku, or on Twitter a lot, Clifford_Miku. And just been helping out people, getting ready for SitCon. And after SitCon, instead of like y'all, which a majority of people are going like to TwitchCon, then to SitCon, I'm going to SitCon and then going to Final Fantasy Fest in Las Vegas. So
and that's actually not too far. It's only like a 3-4 hour drive from LA, I think. It's a pretty decent, like, small drive from LA to Vegas.
Yeah, but on the stipulation, I'm gonna be flying back to Texas and then flying there because I'll be like going into work for like a day and a half just to try and catch up on stuff, because I can't let that stuff slide too long at work.
And many may or may not know that he actually has enough DNA to create 88% of a clone of Chris Roberts. Just only 88. That's just part of the reason why he's been backing for so long. He needs to get that, just that little bit. He's that close.
I don't know. I think we should mix it up with maybe some Aaron Roberts and a little bit of Tony.
A little bit of Tony in there?
Yeah.
My Bible came in, too.
Ooh.
Worshiping goes on.
Commander Z-Man, who are you? Where can they find you?
I don't know. Who am I? I'm Zulu Actual. Yeah, some dude. Commander Z-Man. Twitch.tv/Commander_Z-Man. Shout out to Bristol Boy and Sniffle Wizard. Saw you guys in there. I'm a Test Game and Stream Team member. I stream Monday through Friday, 12:30 p.m. That's afternoon time till 2 p.m. Eastern time for I think 4 +4 or -4 UTC, something like that. There's a time converter on my channel. I never look at things. But yeah, I'm just the wallpaper here, guys. You guys are all the brains. I'm just the good-looking dude in shades. So
that's how this works.
You can be my wingman anytime.
I was gonna say, if we're looking for thoughts on naval combat, though, we'll come to you because you are the resident Star Citizen expert on naval combat.
Yeah, I know a thing or two about flight. So yeah, so good times. Yeah,
and
thanks for having me.
Last but not least, we have the one, the only, the Pope of the Church of Christ Roberts, Gio Get Money.
Howdy, y'all.
Who are you? Like, who are you, and where do they find you? That kind of stuff.
You guys can find me on YouTube, Gio Get Money, Twitch, Gio Get Money, which I'm about to start streaming more soon because YouTube is on bullshit, and I'm getting real tired of them. So I may go ahead and make the switch to the dark side. And my Twitter is real Gio Get Money because Twitter likes to fuck up. So you guys gotta follow me there. And I play Star Citizen, of course, and I may be actually playing some Battlefield 1 in that too.
Excellent. All right, so the first topic of the day. Cargo. Holy crap, that was just kind of like an unload of cargo that they gave to us at the last ATV.
Unload or load? It looked like it was doing both.
Both, yeah. Seriously. It was just nuts. I was not expecting them to be... I mean, yeah, they had walking around, all kind of stuff, and but I wasn't expecting them to be like, oh yeah, by the way, here's how all the cargo works.
It made me want to unload my load, I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, some of us did.
I was at work, unfortunately, so I couldn't.
I have a permanent splash screen set up around my desk now with all the things coming out.
It's like a Gracky's salad bar, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I've got a sneeze guard here. I have to reach my hands under to use the keyboard.
I'm surprised a lot of people don't really know about the the trading and the boxes and stuff. They think it's just pick up a box, you don't fill it up. Like, no, that's coming soon, guys. Right now, they just got the crates, but we can actually move and trade something. But you're gonna have to fill it up one by one in each crate. It's gonna be real tedious. It's coming.
Yeah, no, and I'm that's one of the things I'm looking forward to. I think a lot of people were pulling that out from the old archives. They're showing how the cargo system worked when they first did that brief. And a lot of us were like, oh, this is kind of cool. And I think we've got a lot of new people who are citizens. Okay, we reached 1.5 million backers. I think it was backers, right? Or accounts. I think it's 1.5 million backers. And we went from like 1.1 to 1.5 in like a month. And we went from like 118 million to like 122 million now, in like about the same. We've like. Boom! Like the community has just gotten bigger since.
Yeah, I got like 20 referrals. Yeah, I got like 20 referrals since Gamescom.
Yeah, I got my Gladius like suddenly.
Nice.
I was on 8 referrals for a long time. Suddenly, I'm like all the way up to like 20. Jesus, like.
Definitely the Gamescom move was good on their part to do something to set it up differently this year. Actually, being on the show floor, especially being partnered with Intel.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
Optane.
Why would Intel,
Optane,
partner up with
right?
a scam? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. Same reason why AMD would want to partner up with a scam, since they did the same thing, and like
Scam.
everybody. God, such
Obviously a scam.
Major corporations that are well known. They're just shills.
Just shills.
Giant corporate shills of some kind that don't do any research. We all know it.
Of course. But the other thing that was really cool was Tatooine. Anybody? The Crash Starfarer. Did you not see?
Oh, you mean Taku Max?
Taku Max, yeah.
Tatooine, Jakku, and Mad Max.
That's what it was. Yeah, like I love that idea. I mean, the idea that we'd see like crashed wrecks that are actually like homes. Someone's like living inside the damn thing is fucking amazing. I like that idea. Like the crew that crashed in the ship or managed to survive the landing and are using like wrecks as cover while they're waiting for get rescued. That just sounds awesome.
I always tell people this is the Star Wars game that we never got.
Yeah, no.
Star Wars space game, the Han Solo, the Bounty Hunter, all that stuff. This is the game that it was supposed to be right here.
SWG 2.0.
Yeah, it's Star Wars Galaxies before they screwed it up.
Yeah. It's Star Wars Galaxies as we always hoped it would become, just in a different universe that has more potential because they can openly write it however they want.
Minus the Jedis and Sith.
Yeah.
So,
well, I don't know.
They weren't the fun part, though.
Yeah.
So Firefly, maybe.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I mean, like a lot of people don't like when I say when people are like, oh, so what is this game? And I like it's hard to describe it. I've just been like, okay, do you have a science fiction fantasy like something like a world? You're like, oh yeah, I'd love to be in that. And the response is usually, yeah, Star Trek, Star Wars, Stargate, Firefly, whatever. And I go, that's what it is. Every time. Why? Because it's all of them in at the same time. It's just
I say the same thing. It's everything you've ever wanted in a space game in one. So take all your favorite space games, put it all in one. Star Citizen. Done.
Vaporware Wars, obviously.
Now we just hope that the final cooked product tastes good.
Yeah, we just hope that is at that point. And I mean, from this latest update, it seems like they've definitely been significantly progressed. Like I'm still doubtful that they'll reach the end of this year, but it sounds like they've got a lot of stuff ahead of them. The one thing they didn't show was they showed us how you pick up items, and they showed us the items that are locked into place. But they didn't show us how you would lock the cargo to the place. So,
yeah, because the only thing I could reference that to is the clear place that you see on the bottom of your ships where it's got you can see the magnetic system that's in there that they started putting in all the bottoms of the ships to say, okay, that's how they're going to keep the cargo there within the deal. But what happens when your systems fail? Will that cargo start floating around then? Because it will no longer have that.
Maybe it's self-contained in the box. So
it wouldn't float because you're not going to float unless your character's floating because there's still gravity, but it would slide around. They have talked about the fact that if you put a box in an unsecured place, you can. It just might go whomp and catch you across the side of the head.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of if you're flying through the vacuum of space and all of a sudden your ship's damaged, and of course then all your packages would be released and be floating around your hull.
Man, just imagine the dynamic that would add if you lost gravity in a ship in the middle of a fight, right? How awesome it would be! Try and hold on to your controls while you're floating. That'd be awesome.
And a box is in your way.
The box is just flying past you.
Yeah, missile hazards galore, shit flying at your head.
Yeah.
See, I just want inertia maintained though for the boxes because we're not allowed to shoot weapons in armistice zones. But what happens when you drop things out at cruise speeds?
But
true story. Actually,
science
killed a public enemy, and it said target destroyed yesterday in Port Ulsar. So it was pretty fun.
Hey, Paul, but like what you're saying, the only thing that I'm always have been worried about, as far as I have no worry whatsoever of them building ships, building the components, everything. The only thing is the big elephant in the room is just their netcode. That's the only thing. Once that's hammered out and stuff, the rest of the shit is easy. To me, I think it is.
Honestly,
we're on the same train. I was just talking to my friends 30 minutes earlier. I'm like, the only thing that has me concerned about this game, because I haven't heard anyone talk about it, is the damn netcode. I need to know about that.
I have a feeling that the reason why the netcode hasn't been talked about has specifically to do with the fact that netcode is not sexy. Netcode is ugly, and it is part witchcraft and part science. It's you sacrifice the. Yeah, you got to sacrifice the right goat at the right time at the right alignment of planets to get a good netcode, and then also engineer the damn netcode in the first place. But it's not an easy process, and so you're not going to show this is us working on netcode. If your netcode works, nobody cares. If netcode doesn't work, everybody cares. So it's hard to show that off, I think.
No.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had the subscriber town hall, right? And they were talking about audio, and audio I understand is very important. And that's cool and all, but I had much rather heard about the networking over, some sounds, to be honest. And I appreciate the audio team. I didn't even watch that subscriber town hall because I have no interest in that. I just appreciate them, what they're doing. I want to hear about some damn networking.
Yeah. I lean to the fact that they have to have developers available to bring them onto those shows, and the networking guys are probably so buried right now.
Oh, yeah.
They got a deadline. They got to get.
They don't
that
have
shit
free
done.
time.
Yeah. So
Man,
Yeah.
if I could just get like 10-minute video, like just give me something.
Yeah,
God.
I just hope at the end of the day, when they do, have the eureka moment that, hey, it's complete, it works, it's functional, we can, scale the amount of people per, instance in a single universe area, and it's working great, that they bring them motherfuckers on stage so we can like give them some kind of big ass award or something, or a big thank you, because them guys are going to deserve a lot of kudos, because like you said, they're going to be the unsung heroes in the background that's just doing programming code. Bring them out in the front on the stage so we can freaking give them a pat on the back for that shit, because that's hard.
Pat on the back.
It's so hard.
We're going to be doing a hell lot more for them.
Grakes is going to show his appreciation, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Hugs. Lots
Will
of hugs.
for working netcode.
Oh yes. So the other thing that has always been a mystery to me, and been a mystery to a lot of people, is if Squadron 42 is going to make it into release at the end of this year.
I have faith.
I
have
still
faith.
have.
I have my speculations.
I have cautious optimism, but I think it may make it, but I'm still leaning on the fact that it won't make it. So
I think we get partial missions.
yeah, we might get partial missions. I would love for like a training mission in like the first 2 missions. Like
Oh Lord, no! Please, I hope it's not like a training mission like the last one.
no.
No.
Like the actual
story training mission.
Yeah, so like the first mission where you're going through training and they're teaching you how to fly a ship and everything, and then it cuts you to whatever in the future.
Oh, they give us the option to skip that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it should be mandatory when you first play it, just because everyone should have to go through training. Because I mean, you don't go into the Navy even if you're a trained pilot. They don't go like, hey, here's an F-14. Good luck, kid, kind of thing. They're like, no, you're going through.
Oh, you mean like a storyline type thing?
Yeah.
Story training.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Like, I hate games
from the
that make me
freelancer
mad.
side of things, and then you like transferred over into the UE Navy. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Like, hey,
I don't want to drop spoilers, but there is actually like there is a setup for for the character in Squadron 42 becoming part of Squadron 42, and it has to do with Vega specifically.
Yeah.
So I don't want to spoil because there's some people who haven't been around here since
Stuff happens to Vega.
Las Vegas.
Yeah,
You spoiled
Viva
it
Vega.
for me. I didn't know.
Chevy Vega.
Well,
Yeah,
everyone
I
should
mean-
know Vega by now. That's the reason why the Bishop speech happened. If you don't know that, fuck you. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna handhold you.
I think on the Squadron 42 part, it depends on what assets they're going to use for the first missions will dictate what if it comes this year or not, I think. Because right now they did show us the Bengal, at what point that they have it as, but how far along, how many people in Foundry 42 is actually working on Squadron 42, how much time has been, put into just this 2.5 and going on to 3.0. I mean, I know 3.0 has a lot of features that they needed probably for the battles in Squadron 42. It's hard to know, how quickly they can work and put something together.
It's also very much different though, because you're dealing with a set versus
non-net code is involved. It's all you're in this little bubble just like Mass Effect, and they're just telling you the story and letting you interact with that world. So that's an easier animal to deal with versus, and I think it's a good thing that they will have Squadron 42, because I think that will actually, I think it'll be a better teaching tool to get people interested in the actual universe itself.
Yeah, no, I think Squadron 42 will be a gateway. It's the gateway drug for Squadron 42 or for Star Citizen.
Man.
Yeah, it's for us. It's gonna be awesome because we get to play the Wing Commander again, essentially, and we'll get to see like a little first bits of the universe, and we'll meet NPCs. We'll probably meet in the universe later, but for most people, it's this is the single player part of Star Citizen. Let's try it and see if we enjoy it, and if they like it, if they're wowed by it, then they'll be like, I'm going to see how Star Citizen is, and then they'll pay more closer attention to it. Mm-hmm. So, I think in the end, the biggest issue is for me is not necessarily will they make the assets, because I think the assets will be done, if not already done. There's probably a handful of things they want to get done in terms of the how the ships function, like the import 2.0 stuff. But that's the only issues that are left. That and testing, making sure it's just bug free, and they were going to really want to make sure it's bug free. So we'll see how that works.
Well, and a lot of people are getting like real antsy. Like some people in the community, I mean, they're like, man, I need to see something this year, like the single player, blah blah blah, or especially outside the community, everyone's looking like, okay, are they going to drop this game? And if it doesn't come out this year, we know we're going to get the trolling.
Yeah, no,
the single player portion doesn't come out this year.
The problem is that the issue is not at all the assets with the single player. Like the single player, we know has been done for a while. Like they have all the missions mapped out. They have everything they need to get done. They've got all the recording. The issue now is just taking those assets and turning them into a game, like to putting them back into the game. And the reshoots. Well, yeah, they had to do shoots, but they already did reshoots. I think they have they have one more round of research shoots they just recently did after Gamescom. Was that it?
Oh, they had one more after Gamescom?
I think it was for Star Citizen, though. I don't think it was for Squadron 42.
Oh, yeah, I think there was just animation touch-up reshoots.
Yeah,
that's real close.
But I can understand where Geo's come from, like at the end of the year, Squadron 42. But I think a lot more people are now visually looking at Star Citizen, because if it comes out next year, if it does, then it'll compete with Mass Effect Andromeda as far as the story is concerned. Now, if it comes out this year,
it's the only space game, single-player space game.
Well, they don't want it to, because a lot of people who thought No Man's Sky was going to be the thing, and now they're going to be looking at, I mean, you can tell they're specifically looking at Star Citizen. Okay, you better not fuck up like they did and lie to us. And that's why I'm kind of afraid that I'd rather them put it off until next year at the early beginning of the year and compete with Mass Effect if they have to, but it being a complete finished product.
Yeah,
being rushed.
Which is the reason why I think they may actually put out only the first couple of episodes or first couple of missions that in part of this first episode, because it would show people we're working on it. It's not ready. No, the whole thing's not ready because we haven't QA tested everything. We haven't gotten everything put in proper to make sure everyone's good. But we'll have something for you to play if you have the game. And then next year, early next year, we can pump out the rest of it.
And telltale it.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious, Paul, and I'm not in the loop on this. Was Squadron 42 ever supposed to be an actual physical box, like to go mainstream as far as like put it in Walmart and stuff like that? Because then they might not do the little segments of missions. They might wait until they can actually put a complete box on the shelf saying, here it is. This is episode 1 or whatever you want to call it.
I'd imagine DLC would be more popular than actually doing boxing and everything, because then like that rises the cost of everything.
Yeah, no, they were planning to do limited runs for boxes.
Yeah, how many PC gamers go to the store, Best Buy, buy a disc now? I mean, it's very rare.
Civ 4 was the last one I got. Go ahead.
Well, you could also buy things like the Walking Dead Telltale series in a box without all 4 episodes being done.
Yeah.
Ahead of time.
Jesus.
And download the other ones. So it said starts with episode 1 and then you would get the rest as they came out if you wanted to download. Or you could get the full one once it was already done for episode 1, like you had to wait for their full release version, not online required one.
I mean,
so I can see them doing it, but if they even go the box route.
I don't think the physical disc. I think the physical discs will still require you to download the game. Like at the end of the day, it's a key. Like that's what they even kind of said. Like the reason why they did the physical discs was more of a limited run for special backers, and if they get big enough, they may want to do physical discs. But why? No one does physical discs anymore. If you do, you're gonna have to do so little that you won't make much of a profit off of it, but it'll cost you a little bit too much more money.
Yeah. The only reason why they do the physical release copies now is if they're gonna put a shiny statue with it or something, a little figurine.
The only reason why I had the Fallout 4 the disc is because I got the Pip-Boy edition. Other than that, that's the only reason why. That's my first disc for my computer out of my thousands of dollars worth of games.
Yeah, and you could probably get like a Steam code that was essentially basically a Steam code that you get off of that disc. It's not. That's
exactly. I never even stuck it in the computer.
So.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to be a huge issue.
What's thumb drive, wasn't it? They were gonna use a thumb drive too, not even.
Yeah, there was talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they are working on the because Sandy even talked about it, that they're working on the little spaceship USB drives right now.
Yeah,
They're
those were the
currently-
special ones, but I think they
Yes.
also talked about for like Squadron 42 just a generic thumb drive in a box.
Just-
which
just
that would
think at
be
this point-
cool.
At this point, it's
'Cause
going
it's
to be an
cheaper than the
SSD,
disc.
but
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, like for instance, like this is what I got at TwitchCon last year, which from the guys who did Elite Dangerous, because they gave this out, which came with a copy of the game, download, and a copy and a key, and all it was the key was on the disc or was on here, plus the launcher, and then you could put the launcher in your game or in the on your desktop, and it would unpack your launcher, and then you just download the game. So that would work the same way. You could just go out and buy a USB stick, or have a USB stick that just has enough for the launcher and the code, like in a text file that you just copy and paste to get your key code in, so you can verify it. So, but yeah, no, they don't have to be. You don't have to go crazy with those to get them done, and they're cheaper than discs because discs cost so much more money. But I have no idea that if the problem is that the Star Citizen USB flash drives, it's ship ones. They're gonna have to be 100 gigabytes. Like, there's no way that this is gonna be any less than that, unless they're just gonna have the launcher on it.
Yeah,
I think when that's all over and done with, I think it's going to be like 200 gigs.
It's a
This
preload.
fucking game is.
Yeah, I would definitely think it would be just a USB launcher code on there. I would love to see like an actual action shot like statue of Mark Hamill in his gear. That would be so cool to have an actual 3D model.
Yeah, I put him on my Christ Robert shrine.
Mark Hamill action figure.
Yeah.
He's already got enough of those as it is. Might as well get a new one.
Yeah.
But yeah, ones that's not Luke.
well, so my newest
fight old man.
My newest gaming rig has a hot swap dock for SSDs, which I really love. So I would love to see them, just have the USB launcher and then also have like the full game, so you don't have to go through the download on like an SSD package that you could slip into a hot swap dock. I think that would be the best because it looks like an old school style cartridge.
That'd be kind of cool. And I definitely think that, and I think people have talked about this before, about getting an SSD that came with Star Citizen on it. Because I think that'd be an amazing like concept for Star Citizen. Because it would be like, hey, here's the drive, here's the cartridge of Star Citizen. Here's the drive that will have the game already pre-installed for you, already ready to go. You may have to patch it, but it's done.
But
I think that would be revolutionary, man. Like, because
it'd be expensive. You'd have to pay like $300 for it.
But if you think about it, it'd help a lot of the people like in Australia, a lot of people who have that large cap hits on them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like my buddy just downloaded the Battlefield 1 beta. It took him like 2 days. I was like, oh god, just wait until Star Citizen comes out. He's gonna be there like a whole month.
And because they were already talking about it with the booth, they could partner up again with Intel and use Optane.
Exactly.
Optane.
It just works now. That idea. Hey, Star Citizen, if Sig, if you're listening, this idea might actually work with you. Probably steal this
idea.
Because we want our SSD option.
Well, no, the SSD option I think is really cool because that's the one thing that a lot of people. It'll also give people an SSD so they can install it into their systems, so they have an SSD. Because that was the one thing that a lot of people were like, "Well, this takes 10 fucking minutes for this game to load." It's like, yeah, it's because you're on an old hard drive. You need to have a solid state drive for this game to load well, and you know what? That's kind of the future. Everyone needs to kind of go towards that route, anyways.
Oh yeah, they're getting cheaper and cheaper. Like it's getting ridiculous if you don't have one by now.
But definitely, it would be kind of cool if they did partner with Intel on that. That would be pretty awesome, and that'd be awesome for Intel because it would be pushing more of their product.
I think the framework is there, man. It just needs to be,
That's the cutting edge.
They may have something under wraps. They may. You never know.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of, I've been wanting to ask this question to Z-Man, and I will ask this question later on as well, but I wanted to make sure to say Z-Man. Z-Man, you served in the military. You were in the Navy, right?
Yes, sir.
So, with Squadron 42 being about a soldier in the Navy on a ship, what are some of the things that you're looking for it to be kind of more of an authentic experience in your example? Like, what are some things that you'd be looking for, like the little details that you'd be looking for that some people may not notice about like life aboard a ship in the Navy?
Okay, well, I guess it all depends on where you get to go in the universe. Like if you start off as a pilot, as wing commander, always started, that would be the most interesting thing to me. Now, To be like a UEE sailor or officer in the Navy would be a completely different thing than to be, say, like a UEE Marine who is going to do like first-person shooter stuff. So as for me, I'd like to pursue the course of just, a commander would be like a Navy pilot. And I think that the Star Citizen is more about ships. So I could see Squadron 42 being a little bit more Navy-based, and that's why we've seen so much UE Navy stuff come out and not as much like UE Marine stuff come out.
Mm-hmm. So do you think? But I mean, like, what are some of the details you're looking for, like life aboard ship that they may be able to capture that you may
knee knockers, man.
Knee knockers.
Although we're okay, so a couple of weeks ago they had like the Idris fire suppression system, and you guys know I'm a fireman, right? So you're in space, right? Details. You want to talk details? Let's talk sprinkler systems in space and how little sense that makes. Okay,
especially if there's a fire, there's probably no gravity. Yeah,
right. You're in space. You're going to use what's around you. Like, okay, so ships in the Navy, they use water because there's water everywhere. But if you're in space, there's no oxygen. Fire needs three things to burn. It needs fuel. It needs oxygen. And it needs heat, right? So you take those three things. Any one of those three things out, you have no fire, right? Why can't they vent the compartments? They suck the air out, they let the coldness of space in, right?
So how more bulkheads you're saying that they could shut down, so let it disperse and then reopen it, basically.
Yes, more bulkheads so that Gracky's is happy. And then also like the tubes, instead of like having tubes full of water, because water in space can be pretty precious, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think?
Yeah.
So why would you dump it on a fire when you have the vacuum of space all around you? Have those tubes drawing oxygen out of the compartment.
This is where I get kind of on the other kind of what people can talk about. Well, if you have a crew of a ship, a lot of people in there, they got to have something on the system that when you're peeing in a toilet, it converts that pee back into water or something.
Of course,
you would think that technology. So.
Yeah, Waterworld style, like, right? Kevin Costner,
they have it on the space station right now.
They do.
They have it on the space station right now. Like something like 30 to 40% of the water that they drink on the space station is actually reclaimed urine. Because it's a system. I think it's based off. It may even be based off a system they used in submarines, nuclear submarines. I don't know, but it's required because how fucking heavy water is. Try to ship that thing up to the station. Yeah. But that'd be kind of cool. I was just wondering because from the perspective of someone who's been on a ship, one of those, because it'll be
many ships,
yeah. But I mean, like
there's like little dynamics. Like you kind of call me on the carpet. Like I didn't pick all of them out, but that's like the one thing that's been bothering me since I've seen it is that like the whole fire. Like obviously, in the civilian world, I'm also very tied to fire, and I'm also like from my military career, I'm also very tied to like how you fight fire on board ships. And then like I saw that the Idris scenes and they're like spraying water everywhere. I'm like, no, man, no, come on, no, do it.
Well, especially since water
maybe it's some sort of fire suppressant liquid chemical.
Could be. Right. Like a gel, but still wouldn't make any sense. Like
no, not a gel, just it's liquid, but it's a suppressant chemical instead of gas.
It could be, but still.
I'll just piss on a fire.
Exactly. That's wasting. That's wasting.
The entire ship. Just do what the Imperial team does and vent the whole ship. His idea kind of works.
Yeah, it does. Just vent everywhere. But it also makes sense because there's like they do have those like emergency masks that they've shown already for characters wearing. They'll have suits on. They're not full vacuum suits, but of course they get if it's just a quick vent. Then as long as you've got an oxygen source, you should be okay for a quick vent when it cuts out the fire. So.
Nah. I think your eyes are pretty sensitive, man. Like,
well, I mean, that's what I mean. That's that they have the goggles. Have you seen those things, right? Where like it's the helmet or whatever you can put on. It comes out with the goggles and the mask.
It'll be interesting. So, I mean, that's just like one dynamic of things, like that ties like both my military and my civilian career together. Like I said, but it'll be interesting to see how much they get it right. And I'm sure that they have like guys on staff that have served and that could say, oh no, this wouldn't happen if it was the military. And so I'm not too concerned about it, but the immersion is key, man. You need the immersion.
Well, no, and I'm hoping to get you and a couple of the other like Star Citizen content creators who are veterans together at some point to talk about this a little bit more in depth, because that's kind of one of those things that's just like, I'll give you guys some planning to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Because,
well, you want to talk about immersion, like, okay, so in space you have a Bengal carrier. Why does it have that big long taxiway and everything? Like, come on, you have VTOL in space. Look at like ship design today. You have an aircraft carrier because you need a runway, you need a landing strip, but a spaceship, really? Like, maybe in the atmosphere I could see needing such things, but they still have VTOL. So, you know, the Bengal being as long as it is kind of overkill. Maybe just like
you're thinking like, you're thinking of like the also like in Star Wars, the Star Destroyer, where they just have this square box opening that the TIE fighters just come in and then they go back up, you know, because they, like you said, they have VTOL and stuff like that.
Right. I think a lot of it is because it's real cool, but also things like you could easily like whisper away because it's like, well, the Retaliator can fit inside a Bengal, and the Retaliator. There's probably not enough space in that hangar for Retaliator to do a VTOL and take off. And you probably want some space for Retaliator to be able to taxi to and fro and go towards storage spaces, which are, I think, because they even showed like the Vanguards and Retaliators kind of live in the back of the Bengal, then so they have to taxi forward, whereas all the fighters kind of live, you know, on the sides or, you know, near the front. So I can see why they do it, but the other answer is because we want World War II in space, because fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it needs to be big to go against the Kingship too.
Yeah.
I mean, look how big the Kingship is. You gotta have something to combat that. You gotta have a huge ship to go head to head with it.
Yeah, but I mean, he's like why not put more space for food or for crew quarters or like more ships, because you could probably get more ships or leisure.
Emergency landings.
Saddleball course
systems get blown out.
Yeah, that too. It's like emergency landings could easily the reason you need to have.
You're going
space.
in there at full SCM speed. You're going to hit that deck and just keep going.
Yeah,
you want to give them some room.
You need everything in space, right? You need fuel for your craft, you need air for you to breathe, you need water, you need food. Think of how much space is wasted on the Bengal.
Well, they could have even done that space haven system they talked about within the hangars, you know, where it's like on this like they do in Japan. They have, you know, the cars on that little deal, and it comes up. There's your next ship, comes to the top, go back down.
Exactly.
Comes back down.
So maybe they'll do something like that for like pocket carriers. Like that would make sense. Like to have like a shuffle machine, if you will.
Yeah,
like it slides out and like up. You know, that'd be awesome. You know. So yeah, like there's little things. You know what I mean? But I think they're doing a good job. I mean, I'm really enjoying everything that they've shown so far. So.
So I'm looking forward to the Marine missions that you get to play in Squadron 42. Those are going to be kind of fun. I just like to. As a fan of Aliens and Halo and those kind of games, just seeing Marines running in and out of that Vanguard hoplite, just like yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
The only thing I think of the reason why they have the length and it open on the inside for them to take off is that gives the military ship time to get up to speed, protect it within the ship. And then once he leaves the ship, he's already at a high velocity. Mm-hmm. That way,
he could be at a cruise speed out of the gate.
Yeah. It just gives the fighter pilot an opportunity where they're protected in the belly of this beast, and they're at a certain amount of maximum velocity before they leave it. Mm-hmm. So that way they can get maybe less pounced on as they're coming out.
I mean, and it's early. We've only seen like the preliminary stuff on the Bengal. Really, like we haven't got to walk through it. So for me to like. Give you any kind of interpretation of what I think would be more Navy-like or like modern Navy-like is kind of hard to do, but it's like I said, I think they're doing a great job. I'm really enjoying it. There's little things that I would change, but I'm not a designer. You know, I'm just a dude disguised as a dude playing another dude.
All right, the God, I was trying to bring up some. We've got some questions coming up. We're kind of heading towards the questions part of the show. So if you guys do want to ask questions, feel free to do so. !! Question mark, ! Question, and ! Questions in chat are all link you to a link where you can go to fill out your name and what question you want to ask of myself, any individual member of the cast, the whole cast and crew. You can also do things like ask us official CIG questions, which we cannot answer because we're not official CIG and we don't know shit here at the captain's table. That is our official, unofficial byline.
But damn, you look good not knowing it, Paul. Just gotta say.
Thank you.
We'll still answer.
We'll still answer the questions, and you can confirm them completely. And go to the forums and the Reddit and be like, I heard on the captain's table this official announcement from that CIG employee, Paul Shelley, or that CIG developer, GeoGetMoney, because that's good. We're totally legitimate sources of information here.
They would never hire
the
me.
CIG janitor.
Yeah.
I'll be CIG Swabby. How about that?
The professional
CIG
Bryce
bulkhead.
Roberts ass wiper.
Oh, and I'm dying. All right. Let's see. Let me pull out the questions. The one thing I did want to bring forward is, do you think we're going to get anything else other than what we got with than what they've kind of talked about with 2.6? Because to me, it seems like they've left the door open for a lot of things they haven't talked about yet, like ship parts being purchasable, armor, ship armor, and new armor, which they haven't talked about, which we're going to be getting in.
Yep. We haven't even seen them. Was it the mech type armor, that really heavy armor? I want to see that.
Show on that.
They were supposed to do the next.
What it was called? The Power 7 and the Orc armor.
Yeah, they were supposed. Yeah. But it was supposed to be the Orc armor is like a medium armor. I think the medium marine armor is supposed to be the Orc armor. But
it was like this year they were supposed to do that.
Yeah, they were supposed to do the next great Star Marine and have people develop the actual the Titan or whatever it's called. So
now that would have been cool for a 3.0.
Yeah, that's a Titan armor.
They would have had the Titan armor, and they would have been going at it, trying to take down the Starfarer as it was shooting at them at the pirate. That'd have been nice.
Oh, see the pirate pull out a
Titan to fight back. Yeah,
guns.
Yeah, because like I said, you're
mounted that they're talking about. Ooh.
Yeah, you're a sitting duck on planet towards any ship. You're gonna have some guys with Titan armors to, take the ships out because it's gonna be wrecking all the time.
I want to just go in there with a mining bot with the giant, grinding arm and just start punching guys in Titan armor with that.
Oh, that's just brings me back my Battlefield days of taking the repair tool and killing people with the repair tool.
People used to get pissed when I did that. Let me get him right, dude. I'm like, well, I mean, there's a mechanic in there. Why can't I?
Since we have cargo now and we're talking about mech armor, would it be cool the loader from Aliens?
That's what the mech armor is supposed to be. It's supposed to be the loader from Aliens.
Right. Well, yeah. I want a multi-purpose mech armor like that can move packages and kill things.
Yes.
Well, if you see them already showing off the Dragonfly and the ground vehicles, wouldn't you think eventually they're going to make some type of tank vehicle?
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, even the Ursa. The Ursa looks a lot like, and I'm sorry if I'm skipping ahead on you, Paul, but the Ursa looks. Yeah, it looks like the Aliens ship or car or whatever the thing is called.
Yeah.
Where's Captain Richard when I need him?
The rolling tank.
Yeah.
All right. So the first question, and we're taking questions right now. Again, exclamation point, question mark in chat. We'll get you a list of these questions. The first question comes from Ron Jeremy. Do you think an episode of Bug Smashers should fix the bug that puts other players in your cockpit? The bug this bug is a game breaker and drives people crazy. Fix it, CIG. Fix it. I don't know what bug you're talking about.
It's not a game breaker.
Which one?
I know
which
the
bug are you talking about? The missile bug?
It's the one where you load into your cockpit and usually it's Arena Commander or
where you fly like this?
Yeah. Well, so you see the guy in front of you.
That's because there's a second body inside your cockpit, so as you turn, that body spins. So it'll block your screen and stuff. It doesn't happen that often. It's not exactly a game breaker. It's annoying, but it's not a complete game breaker.
I'm sure it'll be fixed by 2.6 since 2.6 is so
It's a funny bug.
Because
sometimes you can end up with their head like this and your head's up. Basically, U69.
Space 69.
Space 69.
You know what's breaking is that damn networking. I don't care about no fixes, no features coming right now until that damn networking is fixed because I get wrecked.
2.6.
Yeah, desync is real, that's for sure.
2.6 should be focused mostly on Arena Commander and Star Marine. And the thing about it is, I've played Arena Commander as of this latest patch, and the frames are great. I don't really see a lot of problems.
Arena Commander play. Yeah, that's cool. PU stuff is where I can't even play 10 minutes before I'm disconnected, run around. I can't interact with nothing, but everything else in the world is frozen. So
It's
I
the
don't know.
rubber banding that's driving me nuts right now.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
Commander, I get that occasionally where it's like, I'm flying at you. We're going to fight. Okay, we're 10,000 meters apart again.
I've noticed that. It's like I'm like, okay, I'm close to satellite, then I'm back away from the satellite. God damn it! When am I going to arrive to this deal? It's just jipping me.
It's like, and no matter how good your aim is, right?
Side stuff.
Right, that'd be cool, man. Right, but no matter how good your aim is, right? You're like aiming. Oh, I got to aim over there. Oh,
yeah, because it jumps. Yeah.
Just never a dull moment. Never a dull moment.
Yeah.
Oh, but Ron Jeremy, I've watched your movie, sir. Thank you for the
Yes,
question.
you are a true hero of America.
Z-Man loves the hedgehog.
Next question comes from Technowolf. Technowolf asks, do you think they ditched the idea for you to manually move containers into your ship, like the design dock for what they've showed was temporary, showing testing HOV cargo?
Yes.
I don't think they ditched the idea of you being able to manually load stuff into the cargo.
No, they didn't ditch it. It's temporary because it's
just not available yet.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean actually loading the box?
Yeah.
Oh, we were talking about that earlier. Yeah. Trust me, it's coming.
Yeah.
This is the bare bones, so we can actually have something to do. But yeah, that little tedious stuff is coming, and I'm looking forward to it because I used to love doing that on Arcade. I'd fill up, get my plants, and then take my cart to fill up the boat. I used to like doing that little tedious shit.
I like that in Life is Feudal. Life is Feudal does that too, where you can like fill up everything inside your containers, take the container, put it in like a. Well, I guess you can't put it into like a cart right now, but like that kind of idea where you can like take the containers and use the containers like to go trade with people and such.
Yeah.
I just hope the
eventually
pickup
it'll happen. They just don't need it to.
I just hope that the pickup command is available for all things, not just cargo boxes. Because like I want to find Paul in the universe and like pick him up and like, hey, let me go, Z-Man.
Yeah, exactly. No. Z-Man and I are going to go on a hot date in the universe. Is what it's going to. He's going to pick me up. He's going to
do some Arena Commander.
He's going to whisk me off my feet and be like, "We're going to go play Arena Commander," and we're just going to run off into the sunset. You know, that's what's going to happen.
And it's going to be what was the song at the end of The Bodyguard? Was it?
No, I'm not gonna do the whole thing.
But I'm kind of curious if in 3.1 is when they're going to finally drop the female character.
I don't think sooner than.
I don't think it's 2.6. A lot of people have been saying 2.6. I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be 3.0 or 3.1. Honestly,
I go back and forth. I'm wondering if 2.6 they might go, hey, surprise.
Yeah, it's amazing. People are more worried about the female character than the network, and it blows my mind. Like, wow.
Because the network is being worked on, and female.
And you don't need a network to play Squadron 42 either. So, like my main concern is I'd love to see Squadron 42 done. Like whatever assets they need for it. Like we could deal. This is alpha, so we can deal with the netcode. You know, but to be able to play the different aspects of the game that'll lead up to the single player, and then like worry about the netcode is, I think probably paramount to CIG, and that's just my estimation.
No, I agree. I think they should be focusing on Squadron 42 more than they should be focusing on 3.0. And I think that to a degree that might make people like, well, that sucks because I have the game to play right now and it's broken or this doesn't work. And it's like, yeah, but I kind of want that first single player experience that I can go back to and play. That's not a buggy mess right now, because it's nice for streaming. For sure, because it's like, we're going to play some Star Citizen. Star Citizen's not working. Let's go back and play some Squadron 42. Why not? Because I still see people play, like, Mass Effect. Like, play through the entire Mass Effect series and go back and play through it again, just because
I miss when Berserker 01 used to do that on the weekends.
I beat it. I beat all of it, though. That's the thing. I went through all of it.
It was Berserker 01.
My love for you is like a trucker.
I bought the whole trilogy again on PC just to play it in glorious 1080p 60 frames.
Yeah, I mean, too bad that the Mass Effect 3 crashes more often than Star Citizen does. Like that's how bad it is on PC.
Well, electronic assholes really don't give a fuck about PC that much anymore.
Well, Mass Effect 3 is also trying to save you the heartbreak of finishing the game.
It's trying to prevent you from finishing the game.
Yeah.
That was the first time I used
no, stop now.
Yeah, you don't want to see the end.
Yeah, that was the funny thing. That was the first game I watched on YouTube. I was like, I'm going to watch this spoiler because if it's this bad, I don't even want to waste my money. And I waited until it was like the cheapest price possible to buy it.
I did. I actually played. I bought the original Mass Effect when it first came out because it came out the same day as the original Assassin's Creed. Mass Effect and Assassin's Creed are the same age. That's you think about that. There we go.
That's the original right there.
Oh, baby.
Oh, wait, who can confirm that? Chris said in a recent interview with German magazine GameStar that Squadron 42 is now 2017.
Topher, you'd have to
we need links,
link it because otherwise I don't believe it. That's the problem. You got to have links.
Sources.
And it can't be to a blog somewhere where like dudes like us just sitting around typing stuff.
Chris, somebody else just linked it in one of the questions.
Okay, here's my thing. Now, what if 3.0, the netcode was, shite, and shit was still acting up, and then we had to wait 2017 for Squadron 42? How pissed would you guys be?
All right.
I'm not pissed about anything, man. I think like they've never made a date that they've set ever, right? So if they make it, it would be amazing. If they don't, it's just par for the course as far as I'm concerned.
No. Or rather, it just be postponed and done right. Then
yeah. Well, see, I'm cool with the Squadron 42 shit. It's just really the netcode for me is just. That's my main thing because it's so fun to play and it's so frustrating every time I get kicked.
Yeah.
So there's this old saying, quick, pretty, and reliable. Pick two.
Yeah.
So do you want it now? You could get it now, but it won't be pretty and it won't be reliable. Pick two.
Yeah. No, it could be pretty and now, but it just won't be reliable, or it'll be reliable and now, but it won't be pretty or
exactly.
So what this link that just was sent to me is saying that Chris Roberts in the interview was essentially saying that Squadron 42 will not be a 2016 release. It will be a 2017 release because he said all the assets are done. They're ready to go. But they don't have the AI systems in place, which tells me they probably don't have the AI systems in place for 3.0 either. So we're probably not going to get 3.0 by the end of the year either. We're just going to have 2.6. So
yeah, because I don't know if they're still using. I don't know if they're still using Kythera or not.
They are. Kythera is different though. They're talking about the Subsumption AI update.
Oh, okay.
Kythera is just how the
planes react and stuff.
How AI will react to the environment rather than being reacting to specific chains of events. So
gotcha.
Wow.
Yeah. So I guess that's news. I just heard.
Yeah.
This was posted about 7 hours ago though. So that's the thing. So it was obviously posted over the weekend of them talking about Chris talking about it, that they wouldn't. This is also in German, so you have to.
And the other thing is,
they were that far behind in AI. I didn't know they were that far behind.
Oh no, we all knew that because
at least he's upfront and honest about it, not like waiting until the day it's supposed to be released and be like, oh no, you know what, guys, we're not gonna make it this year. It's August, or it's September. Holy cow, it's September, and he's saying 4 months from now or 3 months from now it's not gonna be out. So. It is what it is, man. I've waited so long for this to be a thing, and every patch that comes out, I'm more and more impressed. So nothing's gonna bring me down. If it brings you guys down, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh no, I'm the same way. Trust me, they got my trust. The only thing I'm really, like I said, like Cliff said earlier, is the net coach. I just want to hear something. Give me some reassurance. I just want to see something with that. Other than that, I have faith in them. I want them to take their time. But like I said. The hate is coming. I can tell you that right now. Mr. Sharp, I could just see him right now getting the bone like, whoo, it's delayed. He gonna say, I told you so on his fucking Twitter looking stupid as all
hell. You read that guy? Haters gonna hate, man. You know that, brother. Come on.
Yeah, I know. It just gets so annoying because when you see it on the YouTube all the time, see, delayed.
So I'm gonna say this, guys. From what I'm reading, there is no confirmation that it was delayed to 2017. It seems like it was done in an interview where Chris Roberts was saying essentially they're still working on a lot of stuff, that they've got everything done that should be ready for 2016, but they're implying that a lot of stuff may not be ready until 2017. So there is no official confirmation. This is just from an interview that was released to GameStar over things. And I can't even still read all of it.
Yeah, well, it was just like he was saying on stage. He's like, I'm going to get. he said, I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. When I start, talk about days, everybody's going to shoot me to death. Said, we're going to push to try and get it done before the end of 2016. He said, that's what I want to see happen. Does it mean they might hit a roadblock or two? Then, that might diss it till 2017. But at least this time he was more open and like, okay, people shoot me about release dates. So we are trying to plan for end of 2016. But if it doesn't get there, please don't shoot the messenger. It might be because we run into something that fouls it up.
I'd rather they do it right.
Yeah.
A bad game
I thought it was
is bad
coming.
forever.
Yeah, I thought Sandy said it because Sandy gets shit done. She was like, yeah, it's coming out 2016. When I heard her say it, I'm like, oh shit, it may be actually coming. Because like I said, she's usually on it and gets shit done, but they probably ran into
If you
some
run into a
blockers.
major nasty blocker, then things get pushed out. It happens.
And the answer was this reason why I've been saying it, I know reason why Grok has been saying for a long time about the 2017 release compared to a 2016 release is that there's just not enough fucking time in the year. Like there's just not enough time left is the issue. It's not necessarily like, oh well, they can't get it done. It's like, no, they can get it done. Like it's not a problem of like, it's not an issue of capability. It's an issue of time because it takes time to make an asset, test that asset, test it 5,000 different ways, try to break the game 5,000 different ways, so because players are going to do that the same thing, and then come back and try to fix those problems and continue going forward. That's the difficult part, and that's why most of us have been saying 2017 is more likely, because especially when CIG went fucking radio silent throughout the entire summer about Squadron 42, we were like, yeah, they're probably going to delay it, and I was still holding out hope, and I'm still kind of holding out hope, but we'll see. This kind of thing.
At best, we get a teaser of missions. We get a couple mission teaser at best.
Yeah,
I'm sure we will.
Basically, what I've been leaning towards the whole time on it, just because.
Yeah.
Estimates are my job.
Well, I definitely will enjoy SitCon if he comes out on that stage and say, "Hey guys, we are not going to be able to hit our target date of 2016 for Squadron 42, but we do want to show you what you will experience. The pieces that we do have done to kind of show you what you can expect out of it. That will satisfy me."
I think it's going to be another trailer like it was last year, but instead of the 2016 date, it'll say 2017 and be like, oh yeah, by the way.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen.
I think they might give us the first mission as a live demo, like they did with 3.0 at Gamescom. I think they might bust out the first actual played, like do it live, play it live on stage, actually play through it in front of us all, so we can be like, hey, they actually just fucking played this thing.
Yeah.
This isn't a video. This is an actual playthrough.
Yeah.
Don't believe the hype. That's all I got to say. Just wait until CitizenCon and see what Chris says and go from there, man. Can't. Everything is just speculation and rumor at this point. So scuttlebutt.
And that's the thing is that Foible, as Foible said, is that I don't read German, so I cannot see what it says in German. Some people are interpreting this as saying it's 2017. Some people are saying it's 2016. So I don't know. No, but I think, honestly, we're probably going to get us a vertical slice at CitizenCon. That's just probably what's going to happen, because, A, they have to keep the hype going. So the hype has to keep building up for this game over time, and if they're not doing that, then they're not doing it right. But they have to do it in a slow drip way. If they're not going to release it in 2016, they have to show that it's playable. Because if they don't show it's playable, then they've got a lot of people who are going to be like, "Fuck this game! It's ruined. I'm never going to do it." Because people go from like super hyped to super fucking hating something in like 2 seconds. Because gamers are like 5-year-old children, and we are. I have an entire vlog like researched, like probably 30-minute damn me talking that I've been working on about gaming in the economy and how like gamers and don't really function properly as human beings.
If you look at the Gamescom demo, it's so hilarious. Like, I think the one highlight that I took away from the Gamescom footage is when they were entering the atmosphere and you saw the burn as they were coming in. Everybody immediately said, "No Man's Sky, that's done the right way." And they just linked that together, and that's what blew everybody away, is that they're actually entering an atmosphere the correct way, and it's actually showing the correct horizon line. This is how planetary exploration going to the next planet needs to be. And it set like this precipice. And I think that's what really generated the most hype, was just seeing that happen.
Someone told me Call of Duty is already doing that, and that wasn't impressive. The new Call of Duty. I was like, oh, I found something new out, huh? Fucking idiots.
At the end of the day, what's important to remember is that you have to manage your own hype, but you also have to understand that games like this take time. And I hope that people who are coming in right now, when we say something like, hey, 2016 is when it's supposed to release, most people say 2017, all that kind of stuff. I think the community does a good job of managing that kind of thing pretty well.
Well, I'm actually kind of happy that, COD is actually doing a space theme one, because it'll get, it might give people a game to play now, when it comes out during the fall, and it'll get them jazzed up even more about space combat, space fighting games, and they'll look towards Star Citizen. Okay, what are you going to have over that? And I think once they saw, and it'll give them a stark difference between a run-of-the-mill COD game that's been ushered into a space type world versus one that was nothing but built from the ground up for space. Period. What do you have to offer?
Help the genre or destroy the genre by making a really crappy game so no one ever wants to try the genre again.
Well, I will say,
tends to go that way sometimes.
Well, I will say this: No Man's Sky, like the way No Man's Sky flopped that week, and then Star Citizen came out Gamescom, was like the perfect timing, because people were looking like, whoa, wait a minute, this is what No Man's Sky was supposed to be. Like when I first got into Star Citizen was because of No Man's Sky in the comment section. I said, whoa, wait a minute. This game is doing a lot more and showing a lot more than No Man's Sky, because they kept keeping it a secret and do the same show here and there. But like Star Citizen was talking the talk. So I think people starting to realize that like every year they're showing a whole bunch of stuff and they're actually doing it. They're not just, oh, you're going to have this, and make broken promises. Like they're doing the talk. So,
well, I mean, what happened honestly is that people, and this is part of the reason why I think hype is a really dangerous thing for gamers and game creators, is that people got ridiculously hyped about No Man's Sky. There was no way that No Man's Sky would ever meet the expectations of everybody. On top of that, the creators did kind of lie about a lot of the features they wanted in there. And they may have been, something that they wanted in and didn't quite get in. So it was this perfect storm of developers doing shady shit and players doing stupid, buying into the hype and not really doing research.
And publishers being publishers.
And publishers being publishers.
Yes.
Jerks. And so then Star Citizen comes along. It's a space game. It's a multiplayer game. It has lots of aspects of exploration that No Man's Sky has. And it's doing its presentation a week after No Man's Sky went live. A week. So it was the fact that people like God is dead, all hail, or the king is dead, all hail the king kind of moment. Everyone was like, fucking No Man's Sky, but we still want to be happy about space. Star Citizen, yeah. And to a degree, I think a lot of the problem is a lot of people transferred their hype to Star Citizen from No Man's Sky, and it's like, whoa, like us in the community, like, whoa, slow down, buddy. We don't even know how much of this shit is. Not even like they're not going to Sean Murray. Like Chris Roberts will not go up there and Sean Murray all over himself. In
is that a thing now?
It used to be Peter Molyneux. You used to Molyneux all over yourself. Now it's Murray. You're all over yourself.
Like I said, to be fair, Chris has been backing it up. And it's not like he's
that's the thing. It's like he doesn't Sean Murray. He doesn't go up there and be like, I'm gonna give you space colonies. He's like, we might be able to do player habitats maybe in the future. It sounds like a good idea. Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Doesn't lie for like 2 years. Oh, well, it's gonna have kind of multiplayer, but not multiplayer. It's stupid shit. Just flat out yes or no.
Say no,
like
right? Say no. There is no way there's going to be multiplayer. Like, just say it. Oh, well, you could possibly, but come on, just lay it out.
But
then they tried to Roswell the situation with the sticker. They tried to put the sticker on there when people peeled it back and seen it was supposed to have multiplayer. Like, you guys failed. Like, you guys knew this a long time ago before you made that box and it went, what was it, a gold or whatever when they sent it out. So that had to be like a real quick decision. Like, no, it can't be done.
Yeah.
Right.
So the next question, we'll continue on these ones. Kind of got derailed because I hadn't actually heard about this information. So I'll have to go through this information really carefully and see what I have to see by myself.
Yeah.
And from the sounds of things, it's probably a typical Chris response. We're looking to get it in 2016. We think we can get it in 2016, but we're preparing to release it in 2017. I think a lot of people are getting all like, it's 2017! It's like, no, and
if things go well, 2016. If things go to crap, which is what I tend to lean towards because QA, 2017.
And we're not
say-
we're not talking about fall 2017 because I think even Mass Effect Andromeda is getting released in fall of 2017. We're talking like the first quarter,
January,
second quarter, probably not January because they have to get back, but like late February, early March, or like early May, like right before summer release. The only thing I'd have a problem with is if they did, because I know they were doing a bunch of traditional marketing blitzes for Squadron 42 at the end of this year. They paid a lot of money for that, and I hope they didn't They didn't drop that money in and be like, "Whoop, we're not going to release it."
Actually, right now, currently, Mass Effect Andromeda is shooting for the first quarter of 2017, early 2017,
Okay, so
second quarter.
Well, that would
it was supposed to be the fourth quarter of 2016, but they moved it to first and second quarter of next year.
Yeah,
That's cool. I'll play both.
Yeah, for sure.
I would rather them just wait till E3 and then you get all that fucking free press at the same time and blow everything out the water at E3. That'd be like precision timing.
All right, so I usually don't do this, but Sergeant Jockey brings up things. Says I don't think we should give CIG a free pass, not for not meeting dates. If they say I should, I expect it, or don't give me a date. The community is too forgiving. What would you rather do if they didn't? What was the consequences that you'd want if they didn't make a date?
Quick, pretty, reliable. Pick two. That's just going to be my theme for the day.
That's the answer. It's like if you don't want them, what would be the consequence? Refund? I mean, is that what you want? Because I mean, at the end of the day, there is no real consequence for them to miss a date, and there's no real consequence that I can think of that would be it. Other than
my only consequences means I'll be playing something else until it comes out.
Yeah.
I want the game as we're expecting it within what they've talked about. So not over expecting, but expecting within what they've talked about. The when, if it slips a little bit to get it right, I don't care, because I've played too many games where it's been a half-broken piece of shit because they
rushed. Yep.
Stop rushing games and giving us broken pieces of shit that you say you'll patch later, that you half patch and break it further. Instead, make the games right and release them at a later date. Stop trying to force things out the door and just giving us crap games and making that the new expectation for the gaming community. That shouldn't be the way it is. It should be back to the old gold standard of cartridges and discs, where that was your one shot to do it. You didn't get to patch it later. You had to make it right the first time, or you were hosed.
Yeah, I've been told. I lost my thought. Shit, never mind.
All right, let's move on. Next question comes from Bristol Boy 88. What causes more hype, the Banu Merchantman or the Carrack?
I would probably say the Merchantman. I've been hearing
Merchantman.
I
want more alien. I want to see more of the alien. Their take on the alien technology, how the ships are driven, etc.
I think both of them have a nice slow burn hype too, because like we've been waiting for the Banu Merchantman for so long it's become a joke.
So long.
It's become a joke about when the Banu Merchantman comes out, and everyone who owns a Banu Merchantman, I feel like it has the same kind of feel. It's just like, we're all right, man. We would like to see it, but it's okay right now.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
we'll wait till it comes out. When it comes out, we're going to be like, that's cool. We're in our Merchantman.
It makes more sense.
It's a lot more chill, and I think the Carrack has a lot more of like, oh my god, fucking Star Trek, kind of like hype behind it. It's more like, go, exploration, yes, punch aliens in the face,
spread out and all that stuff, and discover jump points.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot more of the like the immediate yes kind of moment with the Carrack, whereas the Merchantman has a bigger hype, but it's more of a like, I can't.
Every time I look at the Carrack, I don't know why, but every time I look at the Carrack, it just reminds me of Mass Effect. That ship, it reminds me. It's almost in the same.
Yeah.
Yes, it reminds me so much of the Normandy. I'm just like, I can't wait to fly that ship. It's going to be a beautiful ship, and just its capabilities of seeing a lot of the transformation of the rays coming out, and you actually happen to discover stuff with it. That's the science side of it. I mean, even on top of that, I would love to see the Endeavor even more so than the Carrack, because I'm like Ben. I'm more sciencey. I want to see that type. That's his ship that he designed. I can't wait for that ship versus the Carrack.
Yeah, and it makes more sense right now because the trading's coming out in 3.0. So it would make more sense for the Merchantman to come out right now over the Carrack until we get the exploring mechanics in there. No, like the whole series and the Merchantman, like I would rather see those. It makes more sense.
It does, but at the same time, I understand why they're doing it, because it's in terms of the pallets, because it's the largest anvil ship that exists. So they want to get that pallet down, so then they can transfer that pallet to the revamp of the F7 series, of the Gladiator, of all the other ones, to make sure that they're all in the same standards of looking sexy. You know, they want that looking sexy status. And
sassy, just sassy. Make it look sassy.
Make it look sassy.
I love me some Anvil. I just gotta say,
they're all JPEGs at the end of the day.
I'm glad that we have I've had at least one Anvil man in the on the table, because everyone else comes up and it's like, Aegis is so awesome. Or like,
I like Aegis obviously, but Aegis they've gotten so much love, and Anvil. See, thank you, Clifford.
There you go.
That's why I love Clifford. This man is amazing right here. But like, Anvil needed the love, and from what I understand, the Terrapin was supposed to be an Aegis ship at first, and they rebranded it, and I was like, thank you for doing something for poor Anvil, who created the Hornet, which is the best ship in the galaxy. Screw all you,
I found yours. There you go, Navy. There you go.
Yay! It's upside down. It's upside down, bro.
It is? Oh, there you go.
I'm wondering if I'm going to have to wait longer for the ship that I'm looking forward to than the Benham merchantmen people had to wait.
What was the ship?
Endeavor.
Oh yeah, no, Endeavor. I don't doubt that the Endeavor's gonna be like the last ship in the game, because it's just one of those things that it's just not needed. I mean, like, there are some things that like the Hope probably is needed. I'd be surprised if the interiors of the Hope wasn't in Squadron 42 at some point. Honestly, because that would make sense.
I mean, the Endeavor
too.
Yeah, well, the Endeavor, looking at the way Ben had talked about and designed it being more science types, where it'll bring in where you can do custom experiments for weapons and weapon technology versus also pharmaceutical technology. So yeah, I can see that would just add more flavor as far as in the universe is concerned, of many things you can discover and make as a product, I would think.
Product.
That's what you put in your hair, right?
I gotta test my experiments.
I mean, everyone's got to do those space cocaine, space heroin,
space reefer, space reefer,
and
the
space
flow.
farm. You need to have your space grow lab going on.
Plus, I want to see what happens when you stuff a Vandul and a Xi'an into a particle accelerator and slam them into each other.
He wants to recreate
that
like Star Trek episodes where like they hybrid people through matter transporters and stuff like that.
No, they'll come out all
fly style,
like the dude from RoboCop with the toxic waste, right?
Yeah.
Next question. Let's see. The next question comes from Foible Zero. Do you think subsumption will be needed for Squadron 42, and do you think subsumption will be ready by the end of the year? Yes and no. I think subsumption will be ready. I don't know if 3.0.
Someone define that word for me, please. Like
subsumption. So
layman's term.
The idea of subsumption is that it's an AI system based on if-then ratios. So, or if-then situations. So if you walk up to an NPC and the NPC has like its own kind of parameters that we're supposed to operate by, and you say the NPC's like, "Hey, I got a mission for you to take some of my space potatoes to space Australia," whatever. So you take the space potatoes to go to space Australia. But in the middle of it, he realizes that he wants you to get, because he's a forgetful guy, he forgets that he also wants you to take like the small package to go as well. So we'll radio up and have you come back. And if you don't come back, then that sets off a different chain of events. There's a branching chain of events that will happen based off of the personality and based on what you do with that character. And so then he may have to call up somebody else and have them carry the package with them as well. So it creates a mission for somebody else to take that package with them to Space Australia. So now the same guy is giving two couriers to go to one place with the same mission. So
does this assumption also involve, Paul, like what he was talking about too, like when you approach a character and he's talking to you, but you kind of ignore him, you're like looking this way, and he's saying, "Look at me, pay attention to me."
It's based off the personalities of the NPCs and how they interact with the universe. I don't remember where the term comes from.
For AI.
Yeah, but it's a specific type of AI in the game. It's different from like a scripted or an event or like it's a trigger.
Dynamic AI would be the best way to put it.
It's not a trigger.
So like Skynet.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roger that. Just say Skynet instead of Assumption.
CIG
Well-
will destroy the universe with it. No.
With 3.0, we have StarNet coming, and it's kind of close in the naming. So
Skynet has grown up, boy. I'm telling you.
Illuminati confirmed. Illuminati confirmed.
it's
all
gone
things.
past the sky into space. Now it is StarNet. We're all screwed.
Well, it also made me interested in the other type of AI that they'll have, like he said, the Sims. Like he'll have a person, different AI walking around that will go through an entire day, whether they can stop, get something to eat, they'll take and fly another ship to another location, or maybe go back home, go into their deal and doing their daily little lives. I'm kind of interested in also seeing that active later on to breathe more life into the universe, like you said.
It would be cool if there was like, what?
I want to follow an NPC for a day, like a planetary day. I literally want to go to someone's house, to an NPC, and just follow them.
Brockus' last name is
all
actually
day.
Irwin. He's like, I'm tracking the deadly Bob from accounting. You can't do an Australian accent, and everyone is going to be.
Stick a thumb and right in his butt.
Yeah.
Come on, Bob. Let's play Arena Commander.
Okay.
That's my thing. The AI. See, that's what surprised me kind of about Squadron 42, because the AI is probably gonna act different than the AI we're gonna get in Star Citizen.
It'll be more primitive, but it'll be the same kind of system, I guarantee you. And that's probably the same way, because they said it's semi-open world. So say you go out to, you're ordered to go out to the, say like the mining stations, human mining stations. You know, that's one of the first locations we go to. Say you're transferring from the stanchion to the mining station. You fly into the mining station, and you just they decide before you get there, like there's a call for help, and you have a chance to go there, but they could send somebody else as well. So you decide, screw it, I'll take this distress call. You take the distress call and come back. It's a different time than you originally were supposed to arrive, so you may not be able to encounter the same NPCs at that later time than you do at the beginning. So that's why they need this assumption. It'll probably be very basic compared to how dynamic the worlds have to be, because it's small, encapsulated into just one single player experience. But it'll feel very much like Skyrim or Fallout in terms of like shops opening and closing at specific times, people walking around. But unlike Fallout and Skyrim, where they just kind of walk around because they want to walk around, there's actually like they're going from place to place for a purpose. Like they have a purpose in their patterns. So.
Sims in space would be cool. That's all I got to say about that.
Sims in space would be awesome.
Yeah.
That's why I've been begging Squad to make a Kerbals Sims kind of game from KSP. Just like
Worm Drake,
Go ahead.
Well, Worm Drake makes a good point about this assumption. Also keeps the economy balanced too.
Yeah.
In the live deal, yeah.
Yeah,
because
the living, breathing universe is assumption.
Yeah. And I don't know where the term comes from. It's from the sounds of things, how all the developers throwing it around, that it's probably an old style like word that's been used a lot, but I don't recognize it at all. And I know a lot of people are like, "What the hell is this thing?" Like you keep calling it subsumption. I keep calling it subsistence. I keep slipping calling it subsistence because I don't know what it exactly means. But I think it's because of like assumption, but you have like subcategories of assumptions. I don't know. I'm just shoot from the hip at this point.
Someone that knows the etymology of the word, please do give us the etymology of subsumption.
Subsumption.
That's the etymology. It's apparently mathematical. I don't know what that means. Is a mathematical.
Oh, subliminal consumption of resources to keep balance.
Oh, so they like just the behavior of AI essentially is what it's saying, right? Whoa, that's a big.
That's a lot of big words there.
The premise of a syllogism that contains the minor term, which is the subject of the conclusion. It keeps skipping around on me.
Minor premise.
Subject of the conclusion. Minor premise. Minor premise.
Premises.
Premise and premises. Yeah, I think he meant premises. Syllogism.
Okay. Deductive reasoning.
And other words, it just keeps disappearing up the
really. Like someone.
Yeah, it's deductive reasoning in which conclusion is driven from two different premises. So, that's interesting.
Yeah, Chatty was like, it's
basically, I like Paul's assumption, but like what he was saying is basically, okay, you got these different branches that it can go. If you're there late or if you're there early, you can go into these different avenues, basically.
Yeah, no, it's That's essential. That's the basic way of understanding it. But it works with everything. It works with every AI. So every single AI has a kind of a character sheet that it reads from that has its flaws, its personality types, and all that kind of stuff. And then it has a series of events that it can do to make it work.
You wouldn't need the full thing for the single player.
No, but you'd need to have like at least a handful of stuff for all the people you're going to interact with, because a lot
taste.
of them.
Just a
taste.
Just give us a little. Yeah.
Just get the first taste is always free, man. Get that hit.
First taste of that sweet subsumption.
Yeah.
In other words, boats and hoes.
Boats and hoes.
Boats and hoes. And I love that. It makes no sense, but yes, boats and hoes.
That's right. Yep, boats and hoes.
What's subsumption?
that
Boats and
conclusion.
hoes.
Exactly. Sims in space and boats and hoes.
Yeah, keep it simple.
I did hear that Geo fucked the mermaid, though.
That is confirmed.
All right.
Oh God. So
Deep under the sea.
Geo get mermaid.
the next question. The next question comes from Blank. Blank asks, "Do you have any idea when we can have capital ships for 10+ people?" My guess would probably be not until closer to beta. Probably a 4.0 kind of thing than it is a 3.0.
Starfare.
Yeah, you can fit 10
I mean, yeah,
people in
technically
pretty much anything.
You can
Right
do that
now.
right now with a Starfare, but like you can't really crew a Starfare with 10+ people. You can crew a Starfare with yeah.
But if you fill all the turrets, you have the engineering room, you have all the stations in the cockpit manned.
Yeah.
That's a 10+ ship right there.
Yeah. And they've also been saying the Caterpillar is essentially a sub-capital ship.
Yeah, I think we'll have it mainly definitely after Squadron 42, because then the Idris will be exposed, and then they can add that into Arena Commander, like they said, capture the Idris, basically. And then you'll have people crewing the Idris versus the people who are flying around trying to take on the Idris, I would think.
Star Marine's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I can't wait to see what they're going to actually show us with Star Marine, because they've been hinting at a new map for Arena Commander. I'm wondering if they also have new maps for Star Marine, because that'd be kind of cool to have like a... And as people have talked about, last week we talked about the idea of having ships in the game. Like you start off in like a hoplite or a freelancer or something like that. You could just choose your transport, and someone has to get into the cockpit and fly it into the match zone and like discharge the troops out.
Like
into
in a demo.
Yeah, like in the demo. Like actually having that as part of the start, so you get in there and then you have to fight over the resources. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know.
How much you guys think to call it the Vanguard Hoplite? How much you guys think it's going to cost?
How much did the original Vanguard cost? $250.
Yep.
So $275.
And I think the Harbinger was $295.
So yeah, it might be less actually. It might be a $225 or a $240.
I don't see it going past the Harbinger. I don't see it going past the Harbinger price. I'll be surprised if it does.
I see it being like a Taurus. It's like a cut down version of the Vanguard, really.
All right, Redeemer or Hoplite? Go.
Hoplite.
Hoplite.
Wow, I think I'm the only one that would pick the Redeemer.
I
Well, they
don't like
don't-
the Redeemer.
Yeah, they didn't. I would have seen. I wish they would have picked both the Redeemer and the Boomsling.
That's the thing, is that there's a lot of people who like the other ships, and
Wait, was that the main one? I mean, the last two, the one it went against.
It was the Boomslang and the
that shit was trash to me.
then there was the Brutus, which would have been my pick. The Brutus, which was
Infinite Shoe Monkey.
Yeah. Infinite Shoe Monkey. They put a
That
lot of
motherfucker
detail
was
into that.
nice.
The,
I'm gonna ask
I
Chris
like
about
the
that same
Paladin.
conversation.
Anvil. What was it called again? The Anvil
Scimitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the
Paladin was
Redeemer
one
looks
I
like
liked.
the Redeemer has, it has the protection of those guns too. It seems like it's more covered than a Vanguard.
The Vanguard, you can still operate as a fighter afterwards. It's more like I like to think of the Vanguard as more like a Blackhawk than and whereas the Vanguard whereas the Redeemer is more like a Huey.
Yeah, basically drop ship. Yeah.
It has a lot of, you can put a lot of weapons on it, but it's still it's generally a transport ship. Whereas the Blackhawk can also be combat equipped. Well, not a Huey. Like what are those the dual Hueys that the Marines use in Still, the ones that are like two Hueys that have been chopped together.
Chinook.
A chin hook.
There's a Chinook.
Chinook. Yeah.
A Chinook.
Yeah.
So. Next question comes from Doem1. Any giveaways? No.
We already gave away LTI pancakes. You missed out, man.
Yeah.
And then we gave
Asking
away
that
LOD.
gets you
Did
one
someone
of
say
these.
raffle?
Yeah.
We gave away LOD and 3000 AD at the end. You can stay for that. Because everyone wants that shit.
He asks, also Caterpillar in 2.6 is a poor man's Capture the Idris or 3.0 because we need big cargo ships to defend and attack. I don't doubt that we'll have a Caterpillar in 3.0. But we probably at least hangar for Caterpillar 3.0. But it depends.
Oh, at the very least.
Yeah, at the very least. Because it's super close. I think the biggest issue they have right now, and I think that would be the biggest issue with 3.0, is to make sure that multi-crew works. Which means they have to get item 2.0 in, which they have a patch to do that. So.
And plus, this is the first ship that actually, well, other than the Constellation have the Mills snub fighter, that this thing can separate from the main to the cargo area, that it can separate.
Yeah, but you also still have to have it. It alone has to also be able to. The little separation has to be able to function as its own ship.
Yeah. So.
Alrighty. Next question comes from Ron Jeremy again. Lately, I've been hearing that CIG may change or update Death of a Spaceman. It seems impractical to keep making characters over and over again. How would it make? How would you all make dying in game feel right?
Death of a Spaceman.
Death of a Spaceman is the best way for doing it. I think the only other way you could do it is make Death of a Spaceman more punishing. Where you die, you die. Good luck, kid. Make a new character. You know, because doing a live system is kind of more of a, we're not going to punish you for being bad at the game, which is reasonable. But at the same time, there's no way, if you made it easier, then, you know, if you didn't have, you know, to remake your character every time you died or after a certain number of lives, then, you know, it would be stupid because people would just pot it. It would be, you wouldn't have any connection to your character. It would be like Eve, where people just will literally throw their characters into the grinder just because they can, because they don't give a fuck about it.
It'd be like it is now, Paul. Like, look at Grimhex. You think like guys would be griefing at Grimhex the way they're doing if everybody died only once in the game and then you had to recreate your character?
Yeah, I'm just doing that now because I couldn't make the live and troll.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, but
they should call it troll hex.
You make things easy. People utilize that for trolling. If you give them punishment for doing it, they're going to stop, and you're going to want to make certain things punishing. So Death of a Spaceman is, the way they've described it, is probably the most balanced way to kind of work as a stopgap for some of them.
Yeah, and the one thing I like about Death of Spaceman, it actually, like Chris said, it, you know, emotionally tie you to your character, especially even through death when you get to see your own funeral.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think will really pronounce like, man, look at all of what I've done, and you know, oh, look who showed up at my funeral because I made differences in their lives in the verse or in Squadron 42. And so I think it'd be more meaningful to them, even when their character does die, that the next character that they take over will make it even more meaningful to keep that character alive.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, the big thing that you really like, the big thing that I'm questioning about is like, how do you tell how close you are to death? And the best way to do it is maybe have a point system where each death, depending on the death, takes away a certain number of points, and you can always maybe like a life meter of some kind. You can look at your mobi-glass, because due to the wonders of genetic engineering, we can see how long it takes for total cell death to occur. And all
what was that? What was that? That was a movie, wasn't it? What was that movie where it had like the people's
the counter?
Yeah, lifetime. Where they could count how much time they had left. You know, and they could like sell off pieces. Yeah, something like that. But I mean, you could easily do something like that in where you could see a bar that would be going down, so you know that you're close to death, and that means you would panic a little bit more, and you'd be like willing to go off and spend billions of credits to get some of that life meter back. You know,
I would like a random roulette type of system, for somewhere between like a 1 to 7. You die 1 through 7 times. You could die. You could maybe once and that'd be it, or it could go up to like 6 times. You never know how long you're gonna live.
Yeah. So those guys who are new,
I would like that system.
Those of you guys who don't know, go look up Death of the Spaceman. The concept is that you have a certain number of fixed lives that you have in the universe, and after you die those number of times, you have to recreate your character. So it's more complicated than that, so that's just a brief overview.
Death of a Spaceman.
Of a Spaceman. All right. Next question comes from Foible Zero. Are there any ships that have been sold that we have been told will only arrive after the launch of Star Citizen? And if not, do you think CIG will reach that point? Oh, no shit, they will. I mean, they're the
Endeavor.
Yeah, the Endeavor. They've been saying that they cannot guarantee things like the Buccaneer to make it to when the game launches. They've been saying that there's just no guarantee that any of the ships will be there at launch that you necessarily have. But they do say that
Buccaneer now.
They will have you will have a loaner that you will have in the universe until you can get your ship. I think to a degree we're probably like the Endeavor probably is not going to make the whole Endeavor. Probably parts of the larger ships may not make it in, like the Idris may not make it in initial release.
I like the idea though. I like the idea though that it doesn't immediately get released, because if you get a loaner, it'll let you experience what it is to work for your UEC. If you know, like me, I have a bunch of ships, but a lot of them won't come until later, so I get the experience, not having a lot of ships and just trying to earn my money to buy what is available or etc. And I kind of like that. It'll give me something to look forward to, that eventually my ship gets released. Then it lets me. It lets them add more to. It's almost like DLC. It's letting you add a little bit of DLC without it being DLC, basically.
Clifford, we all know you have a lot of ships. You can't hide it, bro.
He's the Noah of Star Citizen.
Completionist problems.
Yeah, Noah Cliffy.
Yeah.
Which interest do I want to apply today?
I'm sure Cliffy actually has 4 of each, so he can breed them and not have genetic mutations from either.
Well, he's got the Ninja Turtle terrapins.
Oh, this Idris is dirty. Give me the other one.
His Idris is going to get real dirty. I'm going to sneak aboard multiple of his ships and fly them at different objects. One's going to a black hole. One's going into a star. One's going into...
Clifford is
love you,
silently
Clifford.
raging.
We love you, Clifford. It's just a joke, bro.
I'm going to Cliffy's ship and just flinging shit all in this shit.
I don't know. It's just going to be interesting to see how the mechanics work of the ships, like as far as like when an Idris does blow up or a Javelin goes bye-bye, how long it's going to take to receive a new one, from the manufacturing plant.
I mean, it takes
a lot.
It takes like 30 minutes right now to get back a
Starfare.
Like Starfare is like 45. Like we're talking close to an hour, and at first I thought an Aurora should take a couple of minutes, and then maybe like a Constellation should take like an hour or two. But the more I'm looking at, like, Jesus Christ, that's a long time to not play the game. That's a long sit down and do what? You're stuck at a station. Maybe it'll change.
No, because you can find jobs to take other ships.
Oh, yeah.
Paul, you're going to be too busy serving drinks to people to worry about that, man.
No, I don't have to worry about that shit. I'll just if my ship gets blown up and I get out, I'll just be like, I'll just go back to set.
Well, I never thought of it that way. Grokis is right. That gives people opportunity to go crew on people's ships while they're waiting for one to come out. So that actually will influence more people to play with others, I think.
Crew or ride on a Genesis, because I'm a Genesis owner. That gives them a job to do, because people who are dumb get their ship wrecked or get ganked or whatever. You got to go on a Genesis now. You got to take a flight to wherever you need to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, that also too. It's like, hey, Gio, my ship got blown up. I'm on this deal. How much is it for you to come by here, pick me up, and take me to this location? Because I want to crew one of these ships with my friends while I wait for mine to be constructed.
Yeah, or you can even do things like have you got a mission to do, but you don't have a ship, and there's someone who's looking to hire. Go up there, and be like, hey, I'll pay you a certain cut of this mission if you take me to this pirate base and we go take them out. That kind of subcontracting sort of thing. So it could be interesting.
If my ship gets broken, I'm taking leisure time. I'm hopping aboard somebody's 890 jump and going, cruise.
Space cocaine and space. Yeah. That's the answer. My ship's blown up. I deserve a break. Let's just go.
I can see Z-Man over there. He's at the bar just sniffing that coke. He's like, oh, what's wrong with Z-Man? Oh, he lost his ship again.
Yeah.
He's off the wagon.
Where is Z-Man? Oh, he's at the Astro Pub again. Did you ever kick that guy out?
No. Z-Man's going to be, if you guys have seen Deep Space Nine, he's going to be my, what was his name?
Quark?
No,
I got to tell you stuff.
The gray suit big guy.
Morn is his name.
Yes.
Morn. Yeah, he's going to be my Morn, He's going to always be there. He's just going to be a seat for Z-Man, wherever you be like, you don't sit in that seat. That's Z-Man's seat. He's just in the bathroom or something like that right now.
I'll be Norm of the Astropub.
Norm!
I walk in, Z-Man!
Yeah. I think that's where Morn, the nickname for Morn, that's where they got his name, was from Norm, because it takes it like that. No, I already...
Good times.
The Odo's going to be DJ. DJ is going to be probably the Odo of the Astropub. He's going to show up and be like, "Are you breaking laws again, Paul?" It's like, no, have a drink. Just sit down and relax, DJ. We're totally not smuggling out the back right now. All right, next question comes from Human Evil. At Geo, what's your take on the news that Deus Ex took 5 years to make, and yet CIG gets shit for hitting the 4th year?
That is funny. That's a good point. You know what? That's why I forgot. I spaced out early. That's what I was thinking about. Deus Ex. That game did take a while to make, and there's still bugs. And matter of fact, he told me about some glitch with a boss, and that's ridiculous. I don't think he could have got past it because it was some bug. And Deus Ex is nothing, real superior from what I've seen it. So I don't understand how that took 5 years, and then this game is pushing the limits, and it's still going to get more shit than Deus Ex. That's the sad thing.
It's because it's open development. I mean, and people say, "Oh, it's not open development," but it is. It's like they literally are showing you weekly what's going on with the game. There's no other game company ever that will do that. Anyway.
And that's why No Man's Sky flopped, because they didn't show enough progress of what they were doing, and people were pissed off. See, that's the problem with the industry now. Everyone gets hyped up because they can't see what's going on. They show the little cool render trailer or stuff they put in the area like they did, make the world look real good in the setup trailer, but then when the game comes out, it looks nothing like that. So it needs to be more open world. You need to stop punishing Star Citizen for being open development like that, and really talk about other games who don't do open development, because I want to see what the hell's going on with what I pre-order. Though I don't pre-order, but other people.
And we get a chance to enjoy the bugs like Tyler showed us, that one where you turn into a Roomba and you're going around.
The Doomba, because you can still shoot from that thing. That's the best part. You go ahead and shoot. Oh man, but I will say that there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, is it open development or not development?" The question shouldn't be, is it open development or not open development? The question is, how open is this development compared to other games, other AAA titles? And the answer is, I think there's no way you can say that there's any other game that has even this level of releasing weekly material for your consumption.
Look at the new Call of Duty that's coming out that everybody's so hyped about with the space and stuff. What have you seen outside of the trailer?
Yeah, take a look at Star. Yeah, just take a look at Star Citizen's YouTube channel. Look at how many videos they've done over the 4 years, man. That's
Wingman's Hangar, it goes way back, man. It's like the next great Starship, all that stuff. CIG is more focused on community and getting community input than any other gaming development company out there.
There was something at Gamescom that, it was really good. I seen where Chris was actually talking to the magazine people and breaking the game down to what was going on 3.0. A lot of higher ups in these other game studios, they won't sit there and talk to all these magazines and gaming companies like that. He made sure he sat in the room.
Go away. Just give me money, right?
Yeah. Get my fucking money and go out your way. No, he didn't do that. He sat there and talked to them. That's why it's so ignorant when these game websites come in and talk their shit. You guys didn't even go out even try to reach.
But that's the thing, is that I think a lot of people don't realize is that Chris is from a different era. He's from the era of magazines. He's from the era where you did do that. Everyone did that. Yep. I mean, you'd go out and you'd talk with a gaming magazine because that was your media outlet. There was no gaming websites to go to. I mean, there was, but people go on the internet just to kind of talk about how awesome a game is. They wouldn't necessarily there weren't really blogs about this kind of stuff. There wasn't any major
Twitter
news sites. Twitter, social media doesn't exist. So
Thank you, David Swafford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
these. Thank you, Al Gore.
So these old Chris and people and the people who he has in charge of his PR group are old school gaming media press people. So they know how to talk with the gaming media, and I think that's honestly the case. Is that a lot of these, if you had people from Screw Attack or there's one that's the. A couple of these different people have been ragging on Star Citizen. If they actually went to Chris Roberts and were like, "Hey, can we sit down and do an interview at this part?" He would be like, before they start talking about it, he was sure, and he would explain it to him personally. If it wasn't be him, it'd be Aaron, or it'd be the press manager. It'd be someone who is knowledgeable about the game, but Chris would always be available for them to talk to him, because that's kind of how games used to be promoted. And most of us remember that because we're old enough to remember that, but a lot of the young kids don't. So it's
we come from the Andy Griffith era of gaming.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
The games were simpler, black and white.
Last year, that's why that magazine company on website got exposed for what they did. Because, like I said, if they reached out to Chris, he's not going to sit there ignoring you and say, oh, it went into spam, or use that bullshit excuse. They just blatantly ignored him, didn't want to hear his story. They wanted to put out their own hit piece.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like people were willing to go out. He's willing to go out and talk to people and give them the straight stuff, though. So
yeah, and
that's
think
because they're not journalists.
Yeah, I mean, if they were, if they wanted to, they would do just like we do: sign an NDA, walk through the studio, and see with their own eyes what's behind the curtain, and then they could literally come back and say, "Oh shit! All this time I was writing the wrong shit about the company. I just saw what they were actually doing behind the scenes, and they gave me just certain bits that I can talk about, but I can talk about it or write a story more positively because I was actually behind the doors." But if you don't even give that company even that to allow you to go behind them, then you're not you're not really trying to actually find out for what it truly is. You're just wanting to write a puff piece to get views.
Yep.
Word.
So Bionic Fox, and I'll make sure everyone knows about this because I've done this before, is that this is a weekly podcast. We talk about the game, and we show off some images sometimes and some video about the game. This game is out in the sense that you can play it. It is $45. You can go purchase it on their website, robertspaceindustries.com. You can purchase the game and play it right now. However, it's in an alpha early access state. So in terms of asking, is it out yet? It's out. It's just not done yet. Though the game is still going to be constantly in development, even after a 1.0 release, it'll probably still have. They've been planning for something like a 10-year run for the game to go through iterations. So,
will it be better than No Man's Sky?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I would. A better question would be: is it better now than No Man's Sky?
Not quite, because
they run
of
about
the
the same.
netcode. We can't land on planets yet, and the netcode is still pretty bad. But
is it prettier?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
well, it depends. If you like that sort of weird,
I like No Man's Sky's graphics. It's just not as
It is a beautiful. I do like the art form. Like it reminds me like an '80s type music cover or something. Like it looks.
Yeah, 50s
If you have 4K everything, right, and the ability to play it, which would you rather play, Star Citizen or No Man's Sky?
Star Citizen.
I'm Star Citizen all day.
Well, it's because they have.
There you go.
It's because they have 4K renders native to the. So you can actually see what 4K is. It's like
8K.
Is it 8K? Is it 8K or 16K? Because I know they have some ridiculous
Their artists had 8K stuff ready, but I mean 8K isn't going to exist for a long time. We can barely push 4K as it is.
Yeah. Alrighty, last question of the evening. This is from Mel Gibson Rage. Any thoughts on Operation Pitchfork? Doesn't matter if it's successful or not. What happens? All that matters is it's going to be stupid epic.
Yeah, it already is successful, man.
Epic. I don't like the duel, but I also think we're playing right into Bishop's hands because I swear Bishop is actually a bad guy.
Lies.
I think at the end
like
of the
that
day,
T-shirt, don't you, Drackies? I know you're wearing that
the
T-shirt
lies.
in the verse.
I think at the end of the day, it's good for humanity, but I think it's bad for. It's going to be bad for the UEE. I think that's what's going to happen. Is that it's a good idea, and I think what's going to happen in there is that no matter good or if it's successful or not successful in retaking systems, it will cause a backlash of the Vanduul, which will then eventually cause the downfall of the United Earth Empire as a government.
I don't care about all that. I just want some cool Vanduul shit.
Yeah, that's essentially what it was designed for. It was designed. Let's find a way to just capture some cool Vanduul shit because we can't get it otherwise.
I want to steal a kingship.
Yep. I'm with you, Grack. I got your back.
That's gonna take all of us.
Terra.
Yeah.
All of us get the kingship and then fly it down at Terra because screw Terra.
Wait, you want to blow up Earth, man?
No,
not Earth, Terra.
I want to blow up Earth.
Oh.
That's different.
Terra was gonna be my hometown.
Yeah.
Damn, bro,
It can still
I'm
be your
from
hometown. It's just going to be a wasteland.
Ruckus
I'll
must
be
have-
gone then.
Terra, it's already a wasteland.
Like,
Jeez, we're like,
Aw.
why
When-
is everybody so obsessed with flying ships into shit? You know, like we're gonna fly our Auroras into the sun if you're in Test Squadron. We're gonna fly, dual capital
they're not
ships
gonna
into
fly them
Terra.
the sun, they're going to blot out the sun.
No, yeah, we're flying
Yeah,
the
well,
Bengal
you-
into the sun. We're flying the Bengal into the sun.
Have you
The
ever
Bengal.
seen the way that some test pilots fly Auroras? There's Auroras going into the sun, bro. I'm sorry, it's gonna happen.
What do
There's
you mean some test pilots? Test pilots are.
Yeah.
We're if we're even flying in the straight direction, it's going to be a fucking miracle.
I mean,
I've just turned it into an art form.
I could see Chris Roberts at the sitcom doing a stole the show kind of deal where he actually said, "Okay, y'all asked for it, we did it," and then he does a cutscene that shows an Aurora, live action, flying into the sun and breaking apart and burning up and just blowing up.
nice.
I bet you everybody be like, "Yes, you win."
As long as the guy behind the controller is in Test Squadron, I have no problem with
So
that.
underscore, you better be behind that.
Oh
motherfucking
no,
controller.
it'd be funny if before the show he pulls Montoya up there and says, "Here, I want you to
I
sit here
want you to
for
fly this."
I want you to
Yes.
sit here for a damn. It's a good reason. I'm going to get to it, but you sit right there and get ready for it." Okay,
I
Montoya, we're gonna load you in. Here's a ship. You know what to do, and then once it pops in, it's
Exactly.
an Aurora, and he's like, "Oh, I know what to do."
I know exactly what to do. You don't even have to tell me, Chris Roberts. Thank you.
See, my problem is that Montoya would probably just immediately figure out how to strip naked and then like fly the thing backwards. And like blow up his own hangar just because he can. Be like, we want me to go in the sun? Fuck you! I do what I want. This is an open world game, right?
And then he goes
Montoya! Yes.
All right. Well, thank you guys all so much for hanging out here at the Astro Pub this evening. I'd like to thank Rockies, Clifford, Commander Z-Man, and Geo Get Money for hanging out. A lot of this was last minute. Unfortunately, this week was kind of crazy for me, so I had to grab a lot of folks to come in and be on the stream. A little too late, so thank you guys for coming in who did come in last minute. I would like you guys to follow all of these fine gentlemen right here on their Twitch channels or YouTubes. And if you know anybody who is a Star Citizen content creator who would like to come onto the captain's table, have them send me a message on Twitch or on Twitter, and we can talk. Especially if you guys have been doing it, because I know there's plenty of more people out here who plenty of people who've done Star Citizen content who have been doing it for a long time, who I may not know about, kind of stuff, because this is a huge community we're part of.
Yeah, like Scuba Steve.
Like Scuba Steve, yeah,
Bringing all the community management.
There was a sniper Steve back in the day did Call of Duty videos.
There we go. All right, so from all of us to you, thank you so much for hanging out. Hope to see you guys again. And like I say every night, I hope to see you guys again soon. But if I don't, hope to see you someday in the black. Have a good day, guys.
Bye-bye, man.